actually switch decks. Instead of trying Machine Dramon, I'll try Apocalymon. So I got my food, I queued up, I said I'll do a couple of matches with my Apocalymon, and I'll go to sleep. That was at like 3:30 in the morning. I went to sleep like at 7 that day. I got like 2 wins with my Apocalymon, and everything else throughout throughout those 5 hours, 4 hours, was all else. So we went back to Machine Dramon. On Friday, I woke up. I got breakfast, and I was about to start editing. But I usually have my PlayStation on with YouTube as for background noise while I'm editing and doing stuff. And that's when I started getting called out in a group chat that Turtle with all the boys have. And Gachuga's also getting called out because apparently I still had the application for Fortnite open. So Turtles thought that me and Gachuga were playing Fortnite, and I was like, "Wait, Gachuga's playing Fortnite?" Turtles was like, "Yeah, this PlayStation says so," and I was like, "No way! I'm gonna make a party, see if he joins." And he joined. So we did a couple of matches, and this Friday that this all happened was the Tyson Paul fight. Yeah, it's the Tyson Paul fight, which we'll get there. We'll get there. How many times have I said "we'll get there" in this video? I just added 3 of those to that. I'm not sponsored, but one of you guys keep track. And on that, I'm like, while you're down there keeping track of that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. I have a lot of fucking cool shit coming out in December. This is probably gonna be my I uploaded at the beginning of November. This is probably gonna be my second video in November, so that's pretty cool because I'm planning on uploading this like almost immediately. But yeah. So me and Gachuga played a couple of matches of Fortnite before he had to come pick me up, so that we can go watch the Tyson Paul and have a housewarming party for Turtle because he just recently moved. I needed a shower and I still needed to grab my stuff for the regional and stuff like that. When I remembered, hey, I have this card, Proto X Antibody. It's going for around $50. I need to take this for trade fodder to the regional. And while I was looking for this fucking card, I ended up seeing some cards that gave me a eureka moment that said, I can make this deck possible with this one card. I think I know what I gotta do. So I grabbed all my War Greymon stuff and all my stuff from BT17 Omegamon, alongside the EX4 Black Goblimons, and just like fucking threw everything in a bag, or at least everything I thought. And then I like showered like crazy. Like I had to leave my keys outside the house so Gachuga could come in because I was gonna be busy showering pretty much when he showed up. Luckily enough, I showered fast, and by the time I got out of the shower, Gachuga was barely showing up. So we're moving to the Tyson fight. We're going to the Tyson fight, and I'm telling Gachuga everything that I'm planning. And throughout this whole boxing event, and throughout this whole barbecue that we're having at Turtles, me and Gachuga are just fucking deck building this fucking this Omegamon that I am trying to like make, and testing hands, amazing. And me and Gachuga tried it, Machine Dramon against Omegamon. First, he was piloting Machine Dramon and I was playing Omegamon, and then we switched them around. And Machine Dramon won both of those games, but it mostly was because Omegamon could not close the game after like one move. Foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen. But regardless, we keep testing this deck. Like, we're watching the only fight that even got us like focused, had our attention on the fight, was Serrano versus Taylor. That was such a fucking good fight. I think Serrano got robbed, but not talking about that. We're talking about cardboard. We're talking about shiny cardboard. So throughout the Mike Tyson fight, me and Gachuga were just fucking deck play testing, and we realized that I can make the deck a bit more consistent if I got some more cards. So after everything at Turtles, we ran back to my house to pretty much ransack my house. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Chad. I usually have a mess, a bit of a mess behind camera. Like, you guys can't really see it right now, but there's usually a bit of a mess behind there. It currently looks like a tornado passed through my room, because that is pretty much what I did. I came back and I spent like 20-30 minutes looking for the couple of cards that would make the deck more consistent, and for the Proto X antibody, because I still could not have fucking find it. And I actually wanted to play it in this deck now instead of having it for trade fodder. So I'm stressing, because not only did I not find the Proto X antibody, I also couldn't find some of the cards that we needed to make the deck way more consistent. That is when Jem comes in. By the way, Jem decided to change his mind, and he would be partaking in the regional. He ended up getting some cards to boost up his deck, so I'm assuming that's what gave him a bit more of a confidence to do it. Plus the fact that regionals don't usually happen around us, so that was pretty cool. So Jem shows up, and I'm telling him, like, damn, I'm missing these cards, and it's so fucking sad, and he's like, bro, I have them. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I know. Boom. I was like, holy shit, the deck saved. So we pretty much ended up making the unanimous decision that Machine Dramon would not be the deck I would take, and it would be the Megamon deck. And Jem was going to let me borrow his X-Proto antibody. I think I said it wrong, but who cares? But I said, no, I'll just play a regular X antibody. It's fine. It's fine. One's better in a way. It really, I feel like it depends on the deck, but I won't get into that here, because I feel like I can go a full, like, 5 to 6 minutes talking about that, and whatever, I'm rambling again. I also have, like, my notes here that have, like, little drawings. I won't show the notes just yet, because it has spoilers for what we're talking about. but yeah, so we do the final touches to the deck, play the clip. We were pretty much just playing games until fucking 6 in the morning. And at 6 in the morning, we stopped playing games, and I was preparing my binder to have my trade fodder. And as I'm going through my binder, putting in some cards that weren't in that trade binder before, some cards I know are expensive, or some cards that I know are alt-arts or something like that, or something that collectors would like, I passed my white option cards, and I was about to completely just turn the page and keep going, because I think I was trying to put a tamer into one of the binders, when Jem points out, hey, look, dude, it's your Proto X antibody. It was in my binder the whole fucking time. I didn't. Of course, I would have Of course, I would have a pricey card in the binder. Why the fuck was that not the first place I checked? Now I will show what my room currently looks like, because I didn't show it earlier, because there was like, okay, he was looking for something. My dumbass, fucking smartest person in the room, hoodie, actually professional dumbass, my fucking dumbass, ransacked my room, made a mess on my bed that I have to clean up after fucking finishing recording this. If I really want to go to sleep, which I do, and we'll get to that, because like I said, we were up till 7 in the morning on Saturday. The regional was at 1 in the afternoon, and they asked us to be there at least 30 minutes in advance, but none of us had paid and we want to get there a lot earlier to ensure that we pay that like everything was fine. Which, by the way, at this point, Gachuga has rejoined the party. He pretty much made his peace with not being able to play the full regional and said, hey, I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna get the promos from the regional, and it's all gonna be Gucci. So squad's good to go. Fucking Gem, Noble, Gachuga, Squad 7, we're squatted up, we're heading to regionals. We wake up at 10 in the morning, which we went to sleep at 7, so we have 3 hours of sleep. Gem was the first one to fully wake up because he went to shower. So Gem got like the 3 hours. I got 30 extra minutes of sleep because I was waiting for my turn to shower, and if Gem was just gonna be in the shower, then might as well get 30 more minutes of sleep. Gachuga was the one that got the most sleep out of the three of us. Yeah, out of the three of us, because he got the extra 30 minutes, and then I think he got like some more 10 minutes. So he got like an extra 40 minutes of sleep. Showered, got ready, breakfast. We're heading to the regional, and we showed up 20 minutes ahead because there was traffic. Traffic. Dear God, traffic. And when we show up, for me personally, there really wasn't any issues. They did my deck check, everything was in place, so I was ready to just start shuffling. Gachuga, he needed to do a couple of changes to his deck, and Gem, I think, accidentally put a card incorrectly into his deck, so he also had to do a raid check. Turning back the clock a little bit, because I completely forgot about this, as you all know, what time we're in? We're somewhere around 20 minutes, I think. As you all know, I am a particular enjoyer of the marine iguanas. But the night before, when we were doing our final tests, when we were just getting some more games to get used to the deck, to the Omegamon deck, to do some final changes, adjustments, all that, while we were doing that, Gem went over all the rules. I wouldn't be allowed to smoke.
No smoking pot.
I would not be allowed to smoke because one of the rules is that your opponent, if your opponent suspects you of being either under the influence of alcohol or any drugs, they can judge call to get you checked on, and if the judge deems that you are indeed under one of those substances, I don't know how you check it, because we were talking to this with one of the judges. I'm pretty sure he would have just been like, oh yeah, we have this breathalyzer, like, or some shit. But no, he was kind of like, also like, oh, really? That's a thing? But yeah, it's a thing. If your opponent suspects you, he can judge call you. If the judge calls deems it, you can get DQ'd for it. So before going out and before going to the regional, I went out to not only call the nerves, but because I feel like I play better when I'm high.
Check this out.
And I'll explain that towards the end of the story, if I'm being honest, because towards the end of the story, it's when it kind of clicked to me. So fast forward, regionals. Like, we're already checked in. There's a couple of like delay issues because I think some people didn't show up in the end that were actually scheduled. Some people didn't have there was a lot of issues with the Bandai app. I think that's a very common thing though. And there was the store where this was all happening also had like a couple of events going on the same day. So like, yeah, like it was all good. Like, we started, I think, 20 minutes later than. No, I think there's like a 10-minute leeway. So like we started like 10 minutes late than